Well, are you a hater? Are you being hateful? Are you hating? When I looked up the word hate, it means to detest, to find abhorrent, enmity, strong dislike. I remember years ago when I worked at a restaurant, and I remember I was walking from the lobby area to heading to the counter, behind the counter actually. And I remember seeing and hearing all at the same time, with all this activity going on, our drive-through busy, the lobby full, people coming in. It might have been lunchtime, but with all the commotion and noise and everything going on, I happened to hear and see this guy that I remember working with him, but I couldn't remember his name now. But I heard him say, "I hate those people." I remember hearing him say that, and I was taken aback. I wonder, like, who is he talking about? Because he seemed so disturbed. And I happened to see who he was talking about. It was just one person. But he says, and I may have asked him, this has been like 30 something years ago now. I may ask him why. And he says, "I just hate those people. I hate them." And in his face, you could see that it registered a strong dislike or detest in his face. I never really found out why. Maybe he told me later. I don't remember. But that was all he gave up on it when I asked him, "Why do you hate those people? Why? Why do you hate all of them as a group, or is it just them?" Hate is self-destructive. Hate can affect and impair our judgment, our thoughts. It can, over a period of time, alter our personality, perhaps. I remember that Columbine shooting and the two students, two young boys that carried out and changed the lives and took some lives of people in that school. And there may have been information, I believe, that was left about why they did what they did. But like Maya Angelou had said, I'm going to paraphrase it because I don't remember it word for word. She said, "Hate has caused a lot of problems, but it hasn't solved any." Like I said, hate can impair our judgment. In a rational, common sense way, what good did it do to take the lives of people that had nothing to do with your cause or plight? I believe they may have been bullied. I'm not for sure. I don't remember now the story. But you can see the self-destructiveness and the external, I guess, destructiveness that hate can do. So replacing it, I remember hearing Eric Thomas. He's a speaker, inspirational speaker or motivational speaker, and I remember hearing him talk. And one of his quotes that I like goes, "Pain is only temporary. Eventually, something else will take its place." Interesting, isn't it? Pain is only temporary, but eventually something else will take its place. And that's true, isn't it? Even if we never heard that quote before, we have maybe experienced some type of pain or discomfort, maybe physical or emotional pain, and we eventually pick ourselves back up and move on. Hate is something that it is an emotion, and I remember myself finding myself disturbed by something I experienced, things that were said to me that uh, I probably resented because there was such a misunderstanding between me and this other individual, and I resented it. And I believe at some point I started to hate the experience, what I had, what had happened. I didn't get the recourse. I didn't really redress this properly with this person. And I guess it goes to show that sometimes it is good to get, the Bible speaks about getting understanding. Try to understand, get all the information you can before we speak, because we never know what that person might be going through. It may be just a thing that could affect them in a real way that could make it harder for them, because we don't really fully know what they're going through, right? So it's good to do that. That's mentioned in the Bible about get understanding. But going back to what Eric Thomas had said, pain is only temporary, but eventually something else will take its place. What else can take its place? What good does it do for me or you to hold on to hate? Botham Jean, his younger brother, at the maybe sentencing phase of Amber Geiger, he asked the judge, could he hug her or forgive her? Not only that, the judge gave her a Bible, and that act alone of forgiving someone that killed your brother or a family member, and a lot of people could not process what that was about. How many of us would love to have someone show us mercy, even if we're not about to be sentenced? Or maybe in the street, maybe we made a mistake, maybe we did something wrong, maybe we really did hurt someone's feelings, or we did something, but how many of us would not want to have mercy? So he could have had an option to either hating her for the rest of his life, because when I've never heard of Botham Jean before until, unfortunately, his life was taken. And he seemed like he was such a kind soul. The people that spoke about him, it just goes on and on about the kind of life he was endeavoring to live. But his brother decided he wanted to forgive, and a part of forgiving is showing mercy. It could have been a lot of things that could have been said in that courtroom. Of course, it was a great loss and a hurt and a pain that they'll probably experience the rest of their lives as God heals them, but that's something that he can't be brought back in this lifetime. But yet there was a lot of offensive things said to him. I saw these things online. People saying a lot of things that were, to me, it seemed that would be even more hurtful, not understanding the significance. Because what would you rather him do? To hate Amber Geiger for the rest of his life? Or to forgive her? But yet he was criticized for forgiving.